Good morning. This is Mark Johnson from Loyalty 360 with another Loyalty Expo preview. Today we are speaking with Leslie McNamara, the Executive Vice President of Partner Management at City Retail Services. Leslie will be speaking as part of a panel discussion at the 6th Annual Loyalty Expo, March 20th to 22nd in Orlando, Florida. We invite you to hear more from her during the session entitled The Impending Convergence of Loyalty and Payments. Leslie, it's very nice to meet you today.
Good. Nice to meet you as well, Mark, and thank you for doing this interview.
Great. The first question we have for you, what will be the biggest opportunity for marketers in the next 3 to 5 years?
I think the big opportunity is delivering on what 1990 was the promise of one-to-one marketing. Now that it's been enabled by both big data as well as some of the mobile technologies, there's some very unique opportunities for marketers to capitalize on a very interactive conversation with their customers, and one that is reciprocal in nature. So in the past, when we looked at brand management or we looked at loyalty, it was very much a one-way dialogue. And it was really about bombarding the customer with messages that left an impression of a brand. I think the real opportunity right now through social media and some of the other channels that customers have is allowing customers to take control of that dialogue and letting them participate or be reciprocal in the way that they deal with loyalty and their relationships with companies and brands and products and services.
Leslie, that's a very interesting response. One thing that we see within Loyalty 360 is the relationship with the individual is a very opportune one. But most CMOs traditionally have been very autocratic, top-down, and their ideas are kind of pervasive within the organization. How do you change the mindset of the organization to be more open, to listening to the voice of the customer, to getting that insight in, and to getting to that one-to-one paradigm you spoke of if the organization may not be ready for that?
So I really think there's two different ways. One is first the recognition of the change in the marketing paradigm. So we have a whole generation of marketers who grew up in brand management and the idea that you bombard customers with messages. And those were through traditional media like TV or radio or print. So part of it is getting comfortable with and understanding the new technologies and understanding that those channels aren't about bombarding customers with messages. In fact, if you try and bombard customers with messages in those channels, they'll absolutely reject you. So I think some of it is a head shift in the industry and understanding that the control, instead of the funnel, I've heard it described by Doug Stevens, the retail prophet, as the funnel used to be completely directed by corporations toward consumers. That funnel is inverted now, where customers actually have control and are providing messages about brands to each other as well as to corporations. So I think an investment in channels like social media, understanding how you service your customers through those, listen to their feedback, or accept, and also I think bring people in who are very familiar with what I would call the recommendation economy, an economy that is really driven off of customers telling each other and telling companies what's relevant.
What technologies are most influencing customer loyalty today?
So smartphones is such an obvious answer here. But I'd like to really sort of back up and make sure that I'm clear that I really do see technology as an enabler for customer loyalty. It's a delivery channel. It provides a vital role in either simplifying or streamlining the experience, but it's a tool. It's not separate from the experience. That said, I think smartphones and the way that customers really interface with their services and with their providers is really changing. And there's some remarkable opportunities in the way that we look at devices and the way that we manage those relationships with customers. So, first and foremost, I would say, tablets are the new, couch commerce. That when you look at the explosion in tablets and the way that people are shopping online, is a lot of them are doing it from their couches. They're doing it during prime time. And we see that that is really impacting just about every generation is really, really comfortable in a tablet environment. That's where most of the commerce is occurring. Interestingly, smartphones have become part of the shopping experience in a very social way, so almost social commerce. So just as I've said, the role that it plays in terms of advice or the recommendation economy is what we're seeing is that customers are using their smartphones when they're in stores and when they're shopping to reach out to friends, in order to understand what they think about products and services and to get advice from them, but also looking at websites for recommendations, for feedback, and for a perspective on whether they're making a smart buy. And then last but not least, for checking prices. So I think the ability to understand the technology and how it's shaping people's either purchasing path to purchase or rationale for purchasing is really critical.
Why do you believe the Loyalty Expo is an important event?
I think loyalty discussions, by and large, in the marketing community, they're addressed, but they're usually a subset of a conference or a symposium or a discussion of brand management. What I really like about the Loyalty Forum is that it focuses on the topic exclusively and really ensures that it's center stage, that has in-depth reviews of what's happening in the industry, perspectives, what's changing, how technology is really shaping customer loyalty. So I'd say that's the first thing. The second thing is it's also a rare instance in which you bring together so many industries at one time and have an opportunity to learn from each other. So you bring travel companies, financial services institutions, retailers, providers, and I think that exchange of ideas around a very specific topic is very, very valuable.
What key actionable insight can attendees expect to take away by attending your session?
So, we have some great, speakers coming who are going to be part of the panel. They're clients of ours who I think have real world practical applications of loyalty and important stories to tell. So the Home Depot will be there. Office Max will be part of that panel as well. And then Macy's. 3 incredible brands on a national basis who have invested heavily in loyalty and I think have a lot to share in terms of their experiences, their successes, what they've learned. And I think that that will be very valuable. I also think, our dialogue will bring a unique perspective to their moderation of the session and certainly their understanding of this industry. And last but not least, what I'm hoping personally that I'll bring is a perspective on how payments can enable the purchasing equation and can also enable the loyalty that we see with customers and make that for a richer experience.
Leslie, it was very nice speaking with you, and we look forward to seeing you and attending your session in a couple weeks.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing you in Orlando.